Welcome back to all. Richard, how are you, Richard? You are on mute.
How am I now?
Good, good.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, welcome back to everyone. I'm happy to be back. It was a very great adventure. Every single day, I don't want to even say every single day, every single moment. It was one thing after another. It was a full packed trip. You get up in the morning, you gotta pray, you got breakfast served on the bus, doing something, after that, something, eating, and then again doing something else every single day. Like, we would go to sleep 2, 3 in the morning. It was just every single day was packed. B'li Harbor Hashem. The only day we got rest was actually on Wednesday when we really had to take off. But otherwise, it was beautiful. I had the privilege to meet a few great rabbis. Was very uplifting. Also, when I went to the Kotel, we had a whole trip that they made in downstairs underneath the Kotel. I don't know how many of you guys ever been there. If you ever go, try to take that trip. It's unbelievable. They show you what the second Beit HaMikdash used to be like, and the first Beit HaMikdash. I mean, there's no end. It's like so deep. It keeps on going deeper and deeper. I saw mikvaot. I saw the pools where the Kohanim used to dip from the first Beit HaMikdash. Can you imagine? From the first Beit HaMikdash, and so that's what they're doing. They're actually digging more out, and there's much more that they're still digging, and there's much more that they're finding every single day. It was a very, very great trip. Baruch Hashem, I'm welcome to be back. I'm very happy to be back. If you guys want to ask anything before we start, ask. If not, we'll get straight to learning.
All I have to say was that we had some amazing speakers come on. Ron did an amazing job.
I heard.
Rabbi Nathaniel also did an amazing job.
Beautiful.
But, Rabbi, you were missed, so we're happy you're back.
Baruch Hashem. You guys were also missed. Baruch Hashem. I'll tell you, my learning schedule there, Richard, was the bare minimum. the bare minimum just to get by with the day, because it was just, I don't know.
That means you were hanging out too much, Rabbi.
I'm telling you, it was a full packed adventure. There was no time. It was no time for myself. It was like B'lein. It was very, very nice. They were also very cooperative over there. We had everything separate seating, separate dancing. It was amazing. Everybody listened. Everybody worked together. B'lein Baruch Hashem. I was very happy that everything worked out well. We went safely. We came back safely. I was told over there that in Austria, or in Sydney, I think Austria, Sydney, that there was a whole shooting that happened. Very unfortunate situation. We pray for the families, but it's very sad. Rabotai, it's very sad. And then also somebody told me over there right away that what happened on Brooklyn with the Chabad guys, where they got attacked at the train station. And it's very sad that we as Jewish people, I'm not telling you to be violent, but we have to stand up at one point. If you allow them to continue doing this, there's no guarantee that the second time Holocaust is not going to come around. You're not allowed to have people bully you around, especially just because you are Jewish. Anyway, who am I to say? I'm not in their shoes, but it was very unfortunate. I saw the way they grabbed the Chabad boy. It's very sad. He should have swung at him, and he should have done something. It was a lot of them, and nobody even stepped up to do anything except that one lady. She was screaming, "Stop it!" But also, it was very nice of her, but I think by then it was too late, because then they had exited the train. Anyway, guys, let's get back to learning. We're going to start today, Bezrat Hashem, with another law on the laws of Shabbat. Today is a very simple law, but a very important law. The Shulchan Aruch, the Code of Laws, says that from the institution of Ezra HaSofer, he's one of the greatest sages, he enacted that a person should wash his clothing on Thursday for the honor of Shabbat. Now, there is a very big argument amongst the rabbis. When you say you wash your clothing on Thursday for the honor of Shabbat, what about if people want to launder their clothing on Wednesday? What about Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday? So, to make it simple, let's say you have the first Shabbat, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, they belong to the previous Shabbat. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they belong to the upcoming Shabbat. You guys are with me? So the most we're going to allow you, if you cannot do your laundry on Thursday, the most we're going to tell you to go back is on Wednesday. If you do it on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's not so sinnable that you're really doing it for Shabbat because it's too far away. You guys are with me? However, Chacham Ovadia says that nowadays, since we have laundry machines, you could even do laundry on Friday, which the Shulchan Aruch back then did not allow us to do laundry on Friday. Why? Because the Mishnah Berurah brings down, we wanted people to be free in order to be able to prepare for Shabbat. Now, Richard, you have to imagine, how did they do laundry back then? Everything was done handmade. Everything they had to do with by hand. So it was much more harder to do laundry back then than today. Since we have today the dryers and the washer machines that you just throw in the clothes and they do the job, Chacham Ovadia, one of the rabbis, he allows us to even do it on Shabbat. But if you want to fulfill the letter according to the letter of the law, if you want to do it on Thursday and do it like the Shulchan Aruch says, that is the best way to do it. However, what happens if a person cannot do it Wednesday or Thursday? For example, Jigarik, I don't know when you're giving your dry cleaning. My dry cleaning is right out of the house by Monday or Tuesday for Shabbat. So is that a good thing to do or not? Since there's no other way to go about it, you could even do it on Monday or Tuesday or even Sunday. Because if I give my dry cleaning on Thursday, I'm not getting it back until after Shabbat. So therefore, you could even do it on Monday and Tuesday. Do you guys have any questions on this? Yes,
So
Richard.
if you're doing it in-house, it's Wednesday. If you're sending it out for dry cleaners, it's Monday, Tuesday.
No,
permitted.
in-house, we want you to do it on Thursday. If you can't do it on Thursday, then Wednesday is also fine. But you shouldn't do it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. However, if let's say you're not going to be home Wednesday, Thursday, or you're going to be busy working, you're not going to be able to do laundry and also prepare for Shabbat, then we could tell you could even use Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But the best thing to do is as close as possible to Shabbat. That's when you want to do your laundry, because you want to show that you're doing it for the honor of Shabbat, because a person should come in to Shabbat with clean clothing. Yes? Richard, go ahead.
Okay, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you perfectly.
Okay, no. So, the significance of the laundry. I'm a little nervous about asking this.
Go ahead, Richard.
So, what you're saying is, I do my dry cleaning Monday and Thursday. But what you're saying is, it needs to be back in your house before the Sabbath, which is Friday night and Saturday, right?
Right, so if you could get it out
I don't understand the significance of... I'm sorry, do you hear me okay?
You just got cut off. Now, one more time, Richard.
I said that you said if you don't do the laundry or the cleaning in the beginning of the week, it falls into the next Shabbat or the last Shabbat. So you confuse me. And then, are you talking about only so that we bring a clean attire in front of Hashem?
Correct.
Is that the significance of what you're
right.
saying?
You want to walk into Shabbat with clean clothing. So there's two things, Richard. Number one is, let's say today is Saturday, correct? Today is Saturday. After Saturday, you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, correct? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, they really belong to the previous Saturday, the one that just passed. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday belong to the upcoming Saturday. So therefore, when you do laundry on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's not so recognizable that you're doing it for the upcoming Saturday. But when you do it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's recognizable that you're doing it for Saturday, the upcoming Saturday. And the point number two is that we want you to walk into Shabbat with clean clothing. Now, a lot of people will think, yeah, we're always with clean clothing, correct? Not necessarily. I'll tell you why. many people, they have this thing of wearing the same suit on Shabbat, correct? Not always do they dry clean it, right? They they'll wear the same suit. As long as it's clean, why do I have to dry clean it? So again, we want you to be careful. Even though it might be clean, but still there is a mitzvah to try to dry clean your clothing or launder your clothing for Shabbat. Yeah, you could wear the same suit, you could wear the same tie for Shabbat, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're able to also fulfill the mitzvah of dry cleaning or doing laundry on Erev Shabbat, on the eve of Shabbat, meaning on Thursday. Yes, Richard? So that is the halacha.
Yeah,
If you guys have it,
for the people on this, yeah, no, that's it. For the people on this call, that may make sense, but most contemporary Jewish people, are you saying that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's really the cleaning of the Sabbath that just passed? Wednesday on is for the Sabbath coming, which is Saturday, right? That's what you're
correct.
saying.
Yes, correct. Yes. So basically, according to the letter of the law, Richard.
If I went into all of your houses, there should be no laundry in a laundry basket or being done prior to or after Wednesday. Is there a cutoff line that you guys use?
No. There's no cutoff line. But preferably, if you have to do laundry, we want you to do it on a Thursday. Today, since we have laundry machines, you can even do it on a Friday. Richard, but the reason why we want you to launder the clothing earlier is because on Friday itself, we want you to be ready to prepare the food for Shabbat or clean the house. Because if you're going to do laundry on Shabbat, it's going to take away from other preparations. And you have to be able to enjoy Shabbat the proper way. Okay? Yes, you guys are with me? So the bottom line is overview. The best way to try to go
Rabbi,
ahead.
I'm so sorry to interject.
Go ahead.
What amazes me is the level of thought that goes into Shabbat. We're even thinking about when we're, washing our clothes.
Correct.
The amount of thought and love that's put into Shabbat. I mean, I guess each and every one of us, and I'm guilty of this, probably underestimate the value of Shabbat if our rabbis are even thinking about when we should be washing our clothes.
Right, it's like a wedding, Jigarik. Every Shabbat is like a wedding with Hashem. You understand? So
Rabbi,
just like
Dr. Roman, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, quick question. I got caught off. You said that you're supposed to dry clean your suits. I mean, I don't always dry clean my suits. So before Shabbat, is it allowed to wear if you didn't dry clean?
what? Come again? Is it allowed to what?
So, look, I don't always dry clean my suits because I change them up, right? So,
Right.
do I have to? If I want to wear it that Shabbat, it has to be dry cleaned.
Did you wear it prior to
understand
that? Did you wear it prior to then?
I mean,
weeks
maybe
ago.
a month. Like weeks ago, yeah.
Okay. So here's
The more you dry clean a suit, the worse it gets. You want it. You don't really.
I
You
didn't
just
know
go,
that.
you wear it in
I
shul, you
see,
take it
I
off.
see.
I mean,
Okay. So according to some rabbis, if you're gonna wear a suit which was already worn a few times, yeah, it is a problem because then you are actually going against the institution because you want to wear you want to wear clean clothing, meaning you want to wear clothing which was dry cleaned already or laundered. You want to be able to do that. You want to be able to do that mitzvah. However, Chacham Ovadia says no, the real mitzvah is the dry cleaning, but as long as it's clean, if it's clean, why am I dry cleaning it? So according to Chacham Ovadia, even if it's not dry clean, but as long as it's clean, he wants to learn it's not a problem. So what you're doing, according to him, would not be a problem.
okay. No, I mean, I understand new socks, new underwear, new shirt, undershirt.
Correct.
But a suit, it's, I
Right.
mean,
Suit, shirt, whatever it might be.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah,
All right, sorry.
Right, so some rabbis want to learn, listen, if you're wearing the same, the Mishnah Berurah actually says, if you're wearing the same garment over and over and over again, you might transgress this institution because you're not laundering the clothing, on Thursday. But Chacham Ovadia says, what is the whole point of doing the laundry? That's in order to be able to have clean clothing. The clothing are clean, so why am I laundering my clothing? Okay,
Rabbi.
Yeah.
Rabbi,
Yes.
this is unbelievable. Ruben just made a great point that
Yes.
it took me 2 or 3 minutes to comprehend. So it's really the preparation for this Sabbath we got to be organized days before. We got to be organized so we can help our wives with cooking if we're doing that.
Correct.
We've got to be organized to clean the house so that the house is clean, the clothes are clean, our minds are clean.
Correct.
I mean, this is like, it's almost like you're preparing for a wedding, and you said that.
That's what it is, Richard. That's exactly what it is.
So each week is like a New Year's Eve kind of thing.
Yeah.
More like Rosh Hashanah, Yitzchak.
Yes, Richard. Yes. Okay, very well. But again, you have to remember also, Richard. Everything's about the preparation. You're gonna only enjoy Shabbat as much as the effort as you put into Shabbat. If you put in no effort, if you do nothing, you're not gonna have any sense of satisfaction. But when you put effort in, you have a lot more satisfaction. Whatever you prepare, that's what you're gonna eat. That's how it goes. And not only that, Richard, when you wear fresh laundered clothing, you feel good. You know, when you have different types of food, you feel different. So it's all about also having that good satisfaction, enjoying Shabbat. You know, not, God forbid, being annoyed with it. It's like, wow, I'm very happy. I can't wait for Shabbat to come, to wear my Shabbat clothing, my Shabbat shoes, my Shabbat hat. It's special. There's a meaning to it. So yes. Okay. Guys, I wanted to share with you a very powerful musar. Jugarik, you ready for this? Take off your kippas and your black hats. That's a good one, Jugarik. I want to tell you, Richard, I went to Israel, so they had a whole party for the Sefer Torah. So they introduced me with one big, very, very big rabbi. So he looked at me like this. He's like this. He didn't understand. I was wearing blue pants and a white shirt. I had no hat. I had no suit, nothing. He's looking at me. He's like, he can't put one and one together. So the guy that introduced me to him, he says, whatever you're going to do, don't underestimate the rabbi. He says, don't look at his dress code. Trust me, don't look at the way he dresses. He's dressed like this for a reason. Don't look at it. It was very interesting because over there, everybody's with black suits, black hats, beards, the sideburns and everything. And here you are, not that I didn't want to.
You went against protocol.
I didn't go against protocol. I just want to be myself. I don't go against protocol. What's going against protocol? Would I have to be different just because I'm somewhere else? What I have to show don't judge me. Anyway, it was something. He's like, how can he be a rabbi? Well, it's based on the way I dress? Okay, whatever it was. It was very interesting by me. Anyway, okay. Guys, I want to ask you guys a question. Today's a very powerful Musar ethical teaching that the Zohar Kodesh, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai brings down from Rabbi Daniel Frisch, and he says like this, guys. I want to ask you guys a question. What's one thing that will never leave you alone from the day of birth until the day of death?
Day of Sahara.
Oh, very good. Wow. I thought somebody's going to say their wife. Okay, very good.
You don't have that when you're born yet. Maybe after marriage, possibly.
Well, the Gemara says 40 days before a person is born, already a heavenly voice comes out and says that who you're going to get married to. But that's very, very well said. I want to read for you over here, Rabotay. I want to show you over here. He says over here, Ki b'sha'ah sh'adam ba'al olam. Now I want to show you guys, you have to understand, what are we up against? If there's no law and order, there can be chaos, right? I want to just show you how important it is to know and how to realize who our enemy is. Our real enemy is not what we think is the outside people. Our real enemy is the evil inclination. So he says over here, the Zohar Kodesh says like this, Ki b'sha'ah sh'adam ba'al olam, from the time once a person comes into this world, miyad mizdamen imo ha'yetzer hara. Immediately, who comes with him? The evil inclination. Can you imagine that? The second you're born, it's born with you. Now, what's the problem with it? What's the problem? So there's a very big problem. Why? שהוא מקטרג ומתקוטט עם האדם ורוצה להחטיאו תמיד. Because what does the Yetzer Hara want to do? What is the evil inclination? What's his whole intention? His whole intention, Richard, you know who the evil inclination is? Do you people even know who the evil inclination is? Mike, you guys know? No? Anybody? Robert, you know who the evil inclination is?
Your best friend.
No. Richard, did you know that the evil inclination is the angel of death? Did you guys know that it's all one person? It's all one angel? Jugari, did you know that?
I had no idea.
When I say evil inclination, I'm not just speaking about any, some type of spirit. No, he's the angel of death. He himself is the angel of death. His job is to first make you sin, and then go ahead and accuse you and make you guilty of that sin. So you know how it works, Mike. Make this. He convinces you to make the sin, and then he goes up to heaven and he says, God, look, he just sinned against you. Take him away. You understand? So that's what he tells us over here. He says his whole purpose, once you're born, is he wants to make you sin constantly. He's watching and waiting until he can make you sin. Immediately once you come out of the womb, Jigarik, the evil inclination has full control over you. You with me or not, Jigarik? And that's what David HaMelech said. David HaMelech said like this.
Full control, Rabbi?
Say it again.
He has full control of us from the time that we come out.
Yeah, he controls you 100%. Yeah.
But then how do we?
Maybe I shouldn't use the word full control. He rules over you. He says that he rules over us. Over here, David HaMelech said in Tehillim.
Rabbi, you're saying the human person wants to do always bad versus good?
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. I had a conversation. Somebody asked me, Rabbi, do we really have free choice? Yeah, we have free choice. But Mike, I want to ask you a question like this. When you do something that is not in accordance with the letter of the law, not with the Torah standards, why are you doing it? Because the evil inclination told you to do it. Versus when God told you to do something, what the Torah tells us, so now you're doing what God tells you to do. So really, so if you do if you do something bad, did you really make that choice, or the evil inclination influenced you to make that choice? So really, you don't really have that free choice. If I do what Hashem wants me to do, it's because I have the influence of Hashem on me.
It's no free choice.
What's the free choice? I'm being influenced by somebody. How's that free choice?
The evil inclination, it's an inclination. It's not making the choice for you.
But
it's pulling you in one direction.
So,
but ultimately, you're still making the choice.
But am I really making, or am I being influenced? Or is he inclining me to make that choice?
Influence and making the choice is two different things.
I'm saying, is the influence making me make that choice?
It's not the influence. It's more of a battle. You're always battling with it.
So right. So Roman, I'm saying, Mike,
the influence. It's pulling you in one direction or another. But ultimately, you're making the choice.
But there's something that's influencing me.
So what? Everything is always influencing us.
Let me ask you, if I want to pick up my hand right now, correct? Did anything influence me to pick up that hand? Or I just did it just did it? I want to wear this watch. Did something influence me? I mean, when I'm doing something, is there anything outside of me that's influencing me? I mean, I hear what you're saying. You have a very good point. You say, I'm making the choice. Look, I'm being influenced by the evil inclination. At the same time, I'm being influenced by Hashem and His Torah. So if I go with the evil inclination, it's my choice. But I'm trying to tell, but the influence came from the evil inclination. So really, how much of that choice is mine? You're right, it's your choice. I agree with you. But how much of that choice is mine?
The ultimate action that you take is your choice. That's the free will. Everything else is noise. You want to call it influence, you want to call it peer pressure, whatever you want to call it, you can call it. But at the end of the day, you make a choice to take a particular action.
I agree with you that I'm taking. I agree with you.
Rabbi.
One second. I agree with you, Mike, that that's the free choice I'm making. But I'm asking you a question. When somebody's influencing my choice, is it still me making that choice? Or is there sound or there noise that's making me make that choice?
So everybody has their own choices to make.
I agree with you, but why am I making that choice? Is it because of the influence?
That's the choice your mind did. Like, that's the reflex your mind had. But that's an excuse. Why did I make that choice is an excuse. It doesn't matter why you made the choice. Your free will is to be able to make a choice.
Well, can I say something? Sometimes we make choices.
What the choice is ultimately irrelevant, right? Yes, there's consequences based on the choices that we make, but the choice is the free will.
So, Mike, are you saying that?
Can I add to this?
Go ahead.
I want to give you an example. When you are inclined to do something bad, right? Well, everyone is. You're fighting that choice. I don't want to. I don't want to. And then all of a sudden you break and you give up. You give in and you do the bad, whatever it is. After doing the bad deed, what is the first thing you're thinking about? You're like, I cannot believe I just broke to that. I think that's what the rabbi is saying. So you have control, but you really don't have control. Because you're at the aftermath, you're actually mad at yourself for breaking yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you're upset at the consequence.
No, but let's say there is no. You're living your life. You're upset at the fact that you knew that this was bad, and you still broke. And then afterwards, you're like, "Oh, I'm very upset at the whole event."
Ultimately, just your excuse.
Go 1 second, Roland. Go ahead, Raphael.
Rabbi, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it also the evil inclination putting the idea of doing something bad as well, and then you choose, to do it or not, no?
Right, so I'm asking you guys, by me being influenced by outside factors, is that still my choice, or is my choice right now being played with? If it wasn't for the influence, would I do it now, yes or no? I wouldn't do it.
Your choices be exactly. It's like giving you an example of like, okay, I know we've all been in the past during Nida. Like you're like, oh my God, I can't. And then people work on themselves all the time. You touch your wife or whatever. Then afterwards, you're like, oh man, what was I thinking? How did this even happen? Like that could be some type of where you have a choice, but you don't have a choice because you're in the middle of.
I'm not saying
you're mad at yourself after.
I'm not saying you don't have a choice, but I'm saying is our free will being played with? That's what I'm saying. Mike, I'm going to give you another example. When a person gets angry...
the free will is being played with. I think the free will is being manipulated, or it's being... Okay,
so you don't have... You have free will, but that free will is being...
The choice is yours. Only you could make that decision.
So I agree with you, Mike. Mike, I'm not saying that. If I want to do something wrong right now, I was influenced by something bad. If I want to do something right, I was influenced by something right. But the fact that I'm doing, you're right, whichever way I'm going to turn, I was influenced by something. So how much of that choice was really mine? If you would have left me alone, I wouldn't have done either of them. I would just sit and learn Torah all day. Just because
I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
How can an evil inclination and sin be with a person from birth if their parents are responsible to teach them what is evil and what is sin and what is wrong? A person can't think taking your neighbor's sheep, for example, is wrong if nobody taught him that. You got to know this as you're aging. Wisdom comes to you and you're taught from life.
Correct. So what's your question?
So how is there evil inclination in a child? How, if nobody taught him, how does he know this is evil or a sin or wrong?
No, that's why. No, on the contrary, that's why. That's the exception that is born with a child. If you ever see little children, right? They do little, even when they're 3-4 years old, they don't know what's right or wrong. That's what you're saying, correct?
Exactly.
So why they're doing it then?
Because they're testing. They want to know what they can get away with and what they can't. I agree.
I hear what you're saying. But the Torah tells us that the evil inclination is already with the child from young age. And I'll tell you, where do you really start seeing that? And I'll put it to you like this. When do you start seeing that the children change? Once they have an obligation to do mitzvot, they have to follow in the ways of Torah. When they're 13, automatically you have that real battle. You're right. Maybe, I don't know how much effect that it has on
Jealousy comes in already when they're already 2 years old, 3 years old. They're already jealous of one another, and that's the main fights that the kids have. They always want the same or better. Point. They're counting what the other person has. They're not looking at their own self. They're looking at what the other person has.
That's a good example of why you have an evil inclination when they're younger. And it's our job to educate our children, correct? That's a very good point, by the way, Joe. That's a very good point you made. I was going to say that I see this a lot in children that become 13. Once they become 13 and they're obligated in doing mitzvot, it becomes much harder because now the good inclination comes in. Now they have that real battle. Should I put on tefillin? Should I not put on tefillin? Should I pray? Should I not pray? Should I say barakah? That's where they have that real battle. Until the age of 13, they're righteous children. But after 13, you see them change very dramatically. They change very much gradually. So you're right, but by the way, I tell you something. If the Torah tells us that the evil inclination is with the child from the day he's born, that means it's with him. When it's going to take effect, that's a different story. I hear what you're saying, Joe. You have a very good point. but it's our job to educate them, actually. It's a very strong point that you actually brought up. If it's our job to teach them, why do you have evil inclination? Yeah, that the evil inclination is with them. The only question is, when is it going to really start taking effect on them? You understand? And like you brought an example, they fight, have jealousy, they have anger. You see, they scream. You actually have it. That's a very good point, by the way. I didn't think of that. So you actually answered your own question, Joe.
Can we schedule another call just for this topic?
Belinda, Arthur, we will. Why you guys have? Okay, yeah, it's 5:32. Okay.
There's a lot of questions here.
Okay, fine.
Rabbi's on Israel time, baby.
But guys, I just want to conclude this, and we'll continue Belinda in the next class. But I do want to just bring out a point, Mike. What I was going to try to tell you over here, that if you keep a child, in a room, and he's not influenced by the outside, he'll have a different lifestyle. If you give me a boy and put him with a lot of girls, yeah, he's going to want to do something not right with them. Not because if you would have left him at home, he would have never wanted to do it. So I'm trying to tell you, our free choice is being played with. You understand? Yeah, you're right. I'm not taking away that you don't have free choice. You're making that choice to be with them or not be with them. But the point being is, our free choice is playing around with. So therefore, we have to be very careful in learning as much as Torah possible, in learning as much as ethics possible and laws possible, in order to be able to train our mind to want to serve God. Because if we're not going to do it, we're going to be influenced more by what the society has to say versus what the Torah has to say. That was the point I was trying to bring out. If you guys have any questions for now, I'll take it. I'm cutting it short. Yes.
Rabbi, why can't we just be born to want to do good? Why are we born to try to do bad?
Right. So Rav Chaim Igal in Mishil Yisham, the righteous, the book, The Just of the Path, the Path of the Just, he brings down over there because nobody likes free hands out. Nobody wants to go and beg for money. If you come to the next world and the Hashem is going to say, okay, here's your reward for doing nothing, you're going to feel ashamed. So he wants us to actually work for it. When you earn something, you appreciate it more than when it's just given to you.
But a person who's doing bad, he can say, you can use the same argument for doing bad.
Let me hear.
What? You want to do good. Okay, I don't want a handout. I did bad. I got what I got because I did bad.
No,
how do we know what's good or bad? How do we know? Are we on the other side or on this side?
So you won't know.
We're supposed to do bad.
No. Even if you would do bad and then you would get free hands out, that would be shaming. It would be an embarrassment to you. You wouldn't want that. Rob, you with me or not? You wouldn't like it, Rob. Take
Rabbi,
anybody today.
I'm not arguing. I'm just making a point. If I'm doing bad, what you're saying, I hear you. Okay, it's a handout. But maybe if you're doing bad, you're going to say, "Oh, look, what I did was bad, and I got this for that's my reward." It's not a handout.
You're not going to get
because I did bad.
No, you're not going to get a reward for the bad. You're going to get the reward, but not for the bad. When you eventually, you're not going to get reward for doing bad. You asked me a question, right? Why can't we just do bad and just get free reward from Hashem? It's like a beggar asking people for money for doing nothing. It's a shame for him to go out in the street and knock on people's door and asking for a handout. Nobody likes handouts. People want to be able to earn their money. Why do we work? Because it's embarrassing to go and ask people for money. It's a disgrace. You understand, Rob? So that's why you have to be able to earn your reward. When you earn your reward, that's when you're going to appreciate your reward. And Rob, I'm just going to bring out a point. If you see a person, right, for example, take a lot of people that win lotteries. When they win the lottery, as quick as they want it, that's how fast they're going to lose it. Because they don't value, they don't know what money is. But if you earn it with sweat and hard work and toil and no sleep and sacrifice and no food, you start realizing, I worked hard for my money, I'm not going to lose it quickly. It's all about earning it. It's all about earning it. Same thing with respect, same thing with honor. Everything comes down to earning it. When you earn something, you actually appreciate it. Okay, guys.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Rabbi, welcome back. See you later, Rabbi.
Thank you, guys.
Don't forget to say Gomel on Saturday.
I already said Gomel.
Love you, Rabbi. Thank you.
Welcome back.
I'll see you, boys. I'll see you.